friends, welcome to today's video. Today I thought would be a good day to discuss weight loss plateaus, and there's a couple of reasons for that. I am there, so it's something that has been on my mind. And also this week when I went to my Weight Watchers meeting, the topic was like turning it around, what to do when there's like a little bit of a gain, what to do to get back on track. And also I have a very weird hair thing going on now. So those topics kind of tie together, and I thought that, part of the reason I make these videos is they also give me a little bit of accountability and keep me on track. So if I'm telling you, hey, I am on a plateau, this is my plan to break out of it, I feel like I'm holding myself a little bit more accountable than if I was keeping that to myself. So I thought I would address this in terms of there being two kinds of plateaus. I think that one kind of plateau is when you are doing everything perfectly on program, you're doing exactly what you should be, and somehow you're not seeing the weight loss. Like if you're on Weight Watchers Freestyle, you are eating within your points, you're doing what you've always done up to this point to lose weight, and then suddenly for a prolonged length of time, you're not losing weight. You're sort of staying pretty level. That's not the kind of plateau I'm on. I think I'm on the other kind. And I think the other kind is where, maybe you've been doing this for a while or maybe not, but you are getting a little relaxed with the program. And it's not necessarily leading to weight gain, but it's not allowing weight loss. I find, especially when you've been doing this program for a while, maybe you aren't tracking as closely, maybe there's a few things that you aren't doing, and you kind of have an idea that if you just recommit yourself, that you'll start seeing that weight loss happening again. And that is the one that I am on. So let's talk about the other one first. So we talked a little bit in my meeting today about plateaus, and there's a couple ways you can come at this. I don't know if I agree with this or not. There's this idea that your body and your metabolism, if you're doing like the same thing over and over, the same kind of exercise, the same level of exercise, you're eating the same foods, you're having the same point intake, that your body kind of gets used to that after a while, and you are less likely to lose weight because it's kind of found a way to maintain where you are. I do believe in the whole calories in, calories out thing. Like if you are eating at a deficit for your metabolism and for how many calories you burn in a day, you should be losing. But because Weight Watchers is a little different, there's the points, there's some more flexibility there. It could be that you have hit a point where your body is just like, okay, this is our equilibrium. So what are you going to do there? And the idea here, from what I understand, is kind of shock your body out of it. So do something different, vary up your routine. And this isn't about like eating fewer points, not eating your weekly points. It's maybe about varying what you do. So I think you can do that in terms of exercise, food, and maybe even water intake. Water intake is probably the easiest one. If you are somebody who doesn't drink a lot of water in a day, I know I've heard people say that sometimes weight loss just happens when they increase their water intake. You need to be well hydrated for your body to lose weight. And, if you are looking to drink a lot of water, I think the recommendation is often to take your current body weight in pounds. Take half that number, and that is the number of ounces of water you should be drinking in a day. So it's often much more than people expect it to be. But that hydration and extra water may sort of kick your body a little bit into having some more weight loss. There's the food part of it. So if you are, constantly eating the same kinds of foods, maybe you keep your points like pretty equal each day in what you're eating, maybe look at varying that a bit. So maybe you want to have a couple of days a week where you are a little, under your daily points, and then maybe you want 3 days a week where you're eating like 10 points above your daily points, or a couple of days a week where you use up all your weeklies between those 2 days. And I'm not saying to eat like unhealthy food, but just to sort of like have a day where you're eating more, so your body is like, oh, we need to like ramp up a little bit to burn these calories that are coming in, look at all this food that we're getting. And then when you shift back down again, your body will still be, you know, kind of chugging along in overdrive there. Varying some things while still keeping on program to be able to find out what will work. I would caution against, you know, reducing your points. I think you can only do that so much. Like, I think we should be using our weekly points. Maybe not all of them. Maybe you want to do a couple of weeks where you don't use your weeklies, but don't make that your consistent go-to to lose weight, or else you're sort of going to keep it at a point where your body is burning a little bit less. So, it could also be sort of looking at how many 0-point foods you're having. If you're having a lot of them, they still count. So I tend to have a big bowl of vegetarian chili for lunch. So if I was perfectly on program and I still found that I wasn't losing, one of the things I would go to would be that bowl of chili. Like, maybe instead of having like the 2 cups of it that I currently have, I'd cut it back to 1.5 cups and see if that makes a difference. Well, maybe, you know, increasing my 0-point food like a boiled egg or something somewhere else in the day, so that, you know, I'm just varying up how those 0-point foods are coming in. So the other thing you can do is shock your body with a little bit of exercise. Maybe you are somebody who doesn't really have exercise as part of your current weight loss journey, and you want to, you know, maybe get a step tracker and go out there and try to do 10,000 steps a day. Maybe if you've been doing that kind of a low impact exercise, you want to do a couple of sessions a week of something that is high impact to sort of get your heart rate up at a higher level. I really like walking. I love walking. I could like walk forever. But I know that when I go to the gym and actually get on the elliptical and go for it for a while, it's a different feeling that my body gets after I've done that as compared to low impact exercise. So those are all the things you may want to try if you are on a plateau where you are staying perfectly on program. Now let's talk about where I am, which is, I feel for the last month and like for the last 4 weeks, I had 1 week where I stayed perfectly the same weight. The next week where I forget which, I was up or down like 0.2 pounds. Last week I was down 0.8 pounds. This week I was up 0.6 pounds. So you can see overall over the month, it's pretty much stayed the same. But if I look at my weeks, I know I'm not doing well. I'm not exercising as much as I used to, but more than that, I am eating into the negative weekly points. So for me, and this may be the same for you, what I need to do is recommit myself back onto program again. And part of that may be finding something new to focus on to sort of make the program a little fresh again. So for me, what I've committed to do over the next couple of weeks is to wear my Apple Watch every day, work on closing my rings, really look at the exercise level, because I find when I'm doing exercise well, I also want to eat my points well and track well and stay on track and do all the things, because I don't want all the work I've done for exercise to go down the drain because of what I'm eating. So that is going to be my plan. It may be for you that you recommit to tracking, you look to get a certain number of blue dots every week, whatever that may be, that is going to bring you back onto program again so you can see that it really works. It's probably pretty bad in the not bad. Let me start this again. There has been a few times where I haven't had the greatest weeks and then I've lost. And I think for me, that starts to make me think like, how much can I push it and still, be losing? And I think I just need to like rein it back in again and know that the way this program works really works for me if I work it, and just start working it again. The last thought I would like to share in talking about plateaus is that sometimes you don't need to do anything. Your body will just, if you're in the same camp I am, it's good to get back on program. But if you're doing everything properly, sometimes it's just a matter of waiting. There's some information out there on the internet that you may have seen. I'll try to find a link to this and put the link down below, where it talks about sort of the process of weight loss and why it is that you will have like no weight loss, no weight loss, no weight loss, and then a bunch all at once. So sometimes it's just your body working through the weight loss program, and then you will have the process, and then you will find you have sort of like, it's often referred to as a whoosh, where you lose like, 3 pounds in 1 week when you didn't necessarily do anything different in the weeks before. And I find, especially for those of us who are women losing weight, because there are different cycles and different hormones and different things happening, there are often times where we are more prone to maintain or gain, and then times where it just comes off. So, you know, while I have been maintaining for a month and I want to get back on track and change that, you know, if you've been on a plateau for like 2 or 3 weeks, don't worry about it yet. Just keep doing what you're doing the right things. And it may be that you don't need to do anything. It may just be that you'll find the whoosh will happen in the next week. So that is my video for today. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, but also feel free to give me your tips, tricks, articles, internet links and whatnot, so I can learn more about plateaus and breaking through them and reinvigorating and getting back on track and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for joining me for this today, you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!